Hey guys, welcome back to part 11 of Night Call. In the last part, we gave a ride to a kid who was going to church for his sick mother, and also a cosplayer who was trying to impress a lady. So in this part, who knows? Let's get into it. Continue. So this is the crazy rider lady. We've already had her. I wonder if we have a suspect anywhere. I really need more money. I keep losing money every night, so I'm gonna go to this person and see what's up over here, I guess. You slow down a bit. You've just been hit with a migraine. You crack your window. Icy Parisian air fills the cab. You need to rest. You need coffee. You need to close your eyes. Just a minute. One tiny minute. You don't need to sleep. You raise your head and see yourself sitting in the back seat. What the hell? Your gut clenches. No, it's more like someone is pulling your guts out. Yeah, I look like shit. I know. No surprise considering all the crap I eat, right? He smirks. Maybe it's just a smile. You can't quite tell. I've just got one thing to say. It won't take too long. You'll be able to get back to defending the weak and the poor right after. Maybe cleaning up your reputation and that pretty face of yours. It occurred to me, since your wife left you, you haven't gotten laid, have you? That must be hard on morale, huh? And I mean, there were opportunities. There was Cynthia, that her name? The nurse who changed your bag of piss? Jesus, he lets out a snicker. Or that chick you never called back. What was her name again? Don't answer. Don't try to avoid the subject. You know very well who I'm talking about. Go on. His voice gets quieter, sounds far away. Say her name. What's the name of the girl you never called back? Julie. Yes, say it louder. Julie. Exactly. He smiles. Julie. Julie. Pretty Julie. When was it? 5 months back? 6 maybe? Something like that. A passenger, a smile, number swapped in the taxi, a coffee. Her haircut a bit too short. But you're into short hair, aren't you? You like it when they look like dudes, don't you? Say nothing. You lower your eyes. Bits and pieces of the coffee date start to resurface. So, why didn't you call her back? Julie, she left you messages. The last syllable hangs in the air. She wanted to see you again. Julie. The last syllable shimmers. She wanted to keep conversing with you. Julie. The last syllable burns. Tell the truth. She scared me. He smacks his thigh. There it is. She scared you. Because she was... He is waiting for you to answer, but you can't get the words out. They're stuck on the tip of your tongue. Because that Julie, she was smarter than you. Because you knew she was going to talk about shit you wouldn't understand. Because you're too stupid. His posture shifts. It's almost imperceptible, but it's like he is melting into the back seat. You're too stupid. You lose your temper, you turn around to scream at him. Just shut the fuck up already! He has vanished. You're alone in the cab. A truck passes you. The sound of the city slowly comes back to life. A metro in the distance, a party on the first floor of a nearby building. You turn the car on, but let your fingers linger on the keys. The metal is neither warm nor cold, just reassuring. You stay like that for a second before driving off. So whoever I was going towards, that was, I guess a figment of my imagination. Looks like we have another cosplayer over here. Yeah, let's go with him. Let's go with this Viking. Really need more money. An ambulance hastily parked on the sidewalk is in your way. You find a way to drive around it. Ho, my good friend, I need thee to ride forth. Oh, this should be fun. Childeric de Prahan. I wish I knew French so I could not butcher all these names. The car door opens. Your passenger enters wearing a rather heavy-looking suit of armor. The plate metal clanks as he settles in. The horns seem dangerously close to the roof. Where goest thou, my lord? The knight recoils a little, perhaps in surprise. Ah! Taketh me not for thy superior, for I be lord to none. Yea, I am thy humble servant, just as thou art mine. In sooth, since thou asketh, ride onward, my friend, to Notre Dame, that most noble of Catholic cathedrals, the jewel of the most magnificent city of Lutetia. Ah! Start the cab. You nod and turn the key in the ignition. You start the cab at last. The vibration of the cab sets your passenger's armor jangling. From time to time, his sword makes a funny humming sound. The ride through Paris continues in silence. The city is just waking up. Delivery trucks, the first buses of the day, the half-asleep pedestrians fill the streets. You feel a yawn creeping up your spine. Yawn. Fatigued, my good friend? You nod. Didst thou ride it the entire night? After a moment's hesitation, you nod. Thou haveth a noble steed. Where is your steed? The knight sits up straight and thrusts his chest forward. Ah, a tragic story. Tragic. Geralt, for such was the valiant creature's name, perished in a collision with a carriage. An accursed junction, my good friend, and a failure to yield. Oh, the misfortune! His, limbs were twisted by the shock. Just between us, Geralt wasn't the most practical means of journeying to Paris. To Lutetia, that is, bearing the arms of Stilbos, the champion of the scarlet-faced Gravias, vanquished by the conspiracy of the Crystal Sage. Gravia, the word sounds familiar. The cosplayer we had in the last part 11? 10? I don't know anymore. Hold on a second. The Gravias, aren't they those rabbits with bows and arrows? The knight looks over at you. Thou knowest the Gravias? I had a passenger once in costume like you. His voice suddenly goes up an octave. We are not in costume. We are cosplayers. That's the same thing. Then drops down to the more stentorian notes of knighthood. I know nothing of all that. I am the Knight of Stilbos, and the Gravias art my bitterest foes. You shrug. For a moment you can't make out what's going on behind your passenger's helmet, until your passenger speaks again. This Gravia, he was getting the bus, right? You nod. Ah, that's funny. It's a small world. I know him. What if this is the girl he was trying to impress? Wouldn't that be cool? Your passenger's voice takes on a confiding tone. I think this is a guy, I don't know. He's the reason I'm dressed like this. I worked day and night to make the perfect suit of armor. To get him to notice me. Oh, it is. Oh, I guessed it. A curious silence falls over the cab. I really like him, but I know he has another, You can barely make out what your passenger is saying. You only catch a few snatches. Shouldn't cry. Not now. Take a breath. When he starts to talk again, his voice is still uncertain. It is a he. Okay. I've spent so much time, so many moons on this equipment. Maketh thee no sport of me, my good friend, nay. He lets out a thunderous and totally artificial laugh, which is over as soon as it begins. The ride continues in silence. From time to time, your passenger shifts positions, and so does his plate metal. You are nearing the streets around Notre Dame now. The knight leans in towards you. Ah, the majestic towers appeareth yonder. What a tremendous sight. Oh, the marvel of it. Hold on, there's a notification. Just think, it took dozens, scores of years to build it. He looks out the window as you stop the cab. My fellowship has cometh. In the early morning light, you see a gathering of warriors and soldiers, of magicians and witches. What's going on? My comrades in arms, my sisters and brothers. We are all going to Fontainebleau for 3 days, for 3 moons. We will visit the forest of Brehun, the birthplace of Throgral the Rash. Your passenger is rummaging through his armor. I know I put my wallet in here somewhere. He digs around for a minute, pinches a finger, damn it, and eventually pulls out money for the fare. You watch as he tries to remove himself from the cab. First himself, bodily, helmet down so as not to damage the roof, next his sword, with a clattering on the pavement, and lastly a shield, which no longer seems to fit through the door. Good day, my dear fellow. Fare thee well. The knight salutes you. You watch him as he joins a group of friends. There are cries of admiration all around. You recognize your passenger with the rabbit ears. Hold on, there's another notification, sorry. He and the knight greet each other, compliments flying thick and fast. You turn the key in the ignition. Okay. Oh my god, a 28 cents tip. Tip your goddamn... Okay, well... I think... Here's Herve. I guess I'll go to Herve. That's not gonna get me money though. But he is a suspect. I need a ride, Gabby. Except, oh... The door opens, it's Herve. He greets you with this bizarre verbal tick as usual. Hey, good to see you again, Jan. Hi, Herve. You start the engine. Your passenger keeps looking over his shoulder, clearly worried. Is everything okay, Herve? Yeah, sure, no worries. His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just, there's a cop on my tail, Jail. A cop? Has anybody come round asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like from the crime squad? Nah, nobody's been talking to me about you. That guy's been driving me crazy, asking all those questions, digging up my past, you know what I mean? Digging up your past? Like my old girlfriends and stuff, where I used to live, while I left the shelter. At first I thought it was the killer, you know, the serial killer, that he was after me. Why would he be after you? Because I saw his face. Ooh, this is good. We need to know what he looks like. He pauses, just enough time for your brain to process the information. And he said it's a he. He said it his face. You gotta look at the judge. Your passenger gives you a funny smile. I saw him in profile, Mile. When? You know, a few weeks ago, when he did his last victim. I was like sleeping in an alley just across the street from where, well, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt, I couldn't sleep and, you know, I saw him in profile. He had this weird way of talking, walking, sort of hunched over as if he were tired. That's all? Yeah, that's all I saw. He had on black gloves and the streets were dark. I didn't see anything else. He's staring at you. But why do you care, man? I was just curious, that's all. Yeah, well, if that cop comes round again, you tell him to go fuck off. I'm not gonna tell the police anything, not a damn thing. A note of anger has crept back into his voice. Goddamn cops, they're never there when we need them. I sure as hell ain't going to help Yelp. They can go kick sick. He looks away, furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat back in front of him a thump. Hey, stop right here, near. You slow down and pull over as soon as you can. Okay, I'm out of here. Is everything alright? Yeah, sure, no worries. Just a little business to take care of. The door opens, then closes, and Herve vanishes into the darkness. You open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette, to relieve the pressure, to calm your racing heart. You take a deep breath and drive away. Oh, that was really good. We needed that clue, but also we keep losing money every night, and I need to pick up passengers with better fares, I guess. Alright guys, I'm going to end that part there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.